Welcome to Bottoms Up. I'm your host, AB, and this is the world of mixology. Today, I'm going to teach you guys how to make some bomb drinks. I'm going to cover everything from the tools you need to have on hand to the different types of alcohols you'll be working with. And I'm going to show you guys how to make some fly recipes to get you started. Part 1, we're going to talk about the tools of the trade. Part 2, we're going to do alcohol types. Part 3, we're going to make a couple simple drinks. And then part 4, we're going to talk about the final tips. Now this right here, this is called a muddler, right? This is what you're going to use to ground or combine your cocktail ingredients. Now we got to talk about the shaker. Listen, you got to have a shaker to mix and blend all your ingredients. There are two types of shakers, right? A Boston shaker, which has two parts, a metal tin and a pint glass. And then you got a cobbler shaker, which has three parts. It's got a metal tin, a strainer built into it, and it has a cap. Now let's go ahead and talk about a jigger. That's right, I said jigger with a J, right? Listen, you gotta have a jigger. It's a small measuring tool that's used, to measure out specific amounts of alcohol and the other ingredients, right? You guys are all familiar. If you ever been to a bar, you done seen the bartender using most of the things I'm gonna show you today. So listen, now we just put names and understanding why they use what they use, right? So this right here, this is a bar spoon. It's just a long, thin spoon that's used for stirring drinks, right? Of course, if you guys don't have none of this, you guys can use, your spoon, out of your kitchen, right? Now this right here is a strainer. You gotta have one of these. Listen, it's just a tool that's used to strain out any pulp or ice from your drinks. Speaking of that, listen, you gotta have an ice bucket and tongs. You know what I mean? Listen, that's self-explanatory to keep your ice cold and clean. And then last but not least, you wanna have yourself a citrus press. Listen, that's just what it says. It's just for juicing lemons, limes, and other citrus fruits. Okay, so look, now that we done went over like the basic tools that you need for your bar, and by the way, if you guys look down in the description box below and in the #1 comment, I'll have an Amazon link to everything that you guys see right here. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the different type of alcohols that you need for your home bar. Gin, it's a clear spirit made from juniper berries and other botanicals. Popular brands include Bombay Sapphire and Hendrix. Now this right here was recommended by, Alex Price from Total Wine. This has become my new favorite gin. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the vodkas. Listen, it's a clear, neutral spirit made from grains or potatoes, right? Popular brands include Absolute, Grey Goose, Gallant, and of course, my personal favorite, Interstate Vodka. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the rums. Now listen, this is a spirit made from sugarcane or molasses. Popular brands include Bacardi, and you know what? Everybody knows this brand right here, Captain Morgan. These two right here happen to be some of my favorites, you know what I mean? And this right here is really the rum that's used in the original Mai Tai. These right here are the tequilas, right? These are spirits made from the blue agave plant. Listen, popular brands include Patron, Jose Cuervo, and then these two brands right here. This right here, you guys can see, I must really like that. You see how far down it is, right? Over here, we got our whiskeys. Now these are spirits that's made from a fermented grain mash. Popular types include bourbon, made from corn. You got rye, made from rye grain. And of course you got scotch, which is made in Scotland. Popular brands include Jack Daniels, Jim Beam, and Johnny Walker. But I'm gonna go ahead and just show you this Jack Daniels right here. I want you guys to leave Pat Neely a comment and ask him, why did he save this? This not even a quarter ounce right here. Shout out to Pat Neely. Okay, so look, now that we got, past like going through the basics, we talked about our tools, we talked about, the alcohol that we should have. Let's go ahead and make some fire recipes, right? I'm gonna do two, right? I'm gonna do one, it'll be a cocktail, which I'm gonna start first. And we're gonna do a mocktail. This is gonna be a blackberry lemonade. Super easy, big on taste. Let's get it. Now, check this out. Now, what makes this part real cool is, listen, we finna go ahead and use some of the tools that we discussed in part 1, right? Okay, so look, the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get our shaker. Open this up, right? I'll set this over here. Now look, we're gonna start with some thyme. And don't forget the full ingredient list for both this drink and our mocktail will be down in the description box below. I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna just fold this. You guys can cut it, doesn't make a difference. I'll cut it right now, right? And then we're just gonna put this at the bottom of our shaker, right? Now remember earlier we talked about a muddler, right? We're gonna go ahead and go through that. We're just gonna wake these up, just kind of like smash it. Get the aromatic out. And listen, you kind of like just open it up a little bit. You're not gonna see no liquid down at the bottom, but you see how it's starting to stick to that? That right there is what you want, right? Okay, so look, now we wanna come over here and we wanna use our jigger, right? Now I want you guys to pay attention. The bigger side, that's 1 ounce. The small side of it is a ½ ounce, right? So we wanna have 2 ounces of bourbon, right? So we just fill it up like this. 1, 2. All right, so now we want to take our Peach Schnapps and we want to do 1 ounce, right? So I'll just put this over the top like that. Okay, so now we want to go ahead and just cut our lemon in half. Now this is a big lemon, right? Let me just go ahead. We just want to get a 1/2 ounce, right? So open it up, get this in here like this, right? Come like this, and then we'll go ahead and just put this right over the top. Okay, so now we're getting ready to move over to our simple syrup, right? So listen, simple syrup. You guys can make this at home or you can buy it in the store. Look, this is just equal parts. I did a 1/2 cup of water and then a 1/2 cup of honey. Put it on the stove, let the honey dissolve, on like a low flame. Just do it nice and slow. Then you can put this in your refrigerator and you can have simple syrup. That easy. This is what you want to do. You can go either a 1/2 ounce if you don't want it as sweet, or you can go for a full ounce, right? I'm gonna go with the full ounce because I like mine to be a little bit on the sweet side, right? And then you know what, just a little bit for me, because I like my drinks to be a little sweet. And then last but not least, we want to go ahead and put some peach bitters in here. You just want to put a couple of dashes, right? So 1, 2, real simple. Now we go ahead and add our ice, right? Look, I got this scoop right here. Now you want to go ahead and put your top on, and you guys know the rest. You should be able to start to feel this get nice and cold. This is it right here. Okay, so this right here, like a help out. Look, I got this little, I don't know what this material is, some kind of canvas type bag or whatever. You want to get yourself one of these, right? And I'm gonna tell you why. You take this and you can go ahead and fill up your ice. Now, especially if you guys got an ice maker at home, you know what I mean? Let me see if I can get one of these. Look how big these are. You don't want these in your drink, right? So even if you're using your refrigerated ice, you get it as small as you can, but you want to go ahead and just get it, put it in this bag right here. Check this part out. You take this and you get this little mallet that come with it too, right? I'm gonna go ahead and be quiet so we can adjust everything. Here we go. Look, you just want to get the bigger pieces small, that's it. You don't want to turn this into like shaved ice. I'm looking at it right now, I can live with this, right? So then we'll come over here, get our cup. I'm gonna go ahead and just scoop out of this right here. You know what I mean? And just add it. Look at that. We almost look like we know what we're doing, huh, folks? Once this is nice and cold, let's go ahead and get this. Now, we'll talk about something else. You remember we had thyme in the inside of this, you know what I mean? And then we had a little bit of pulp, right? So this right here, look, this type of strainer right here is it's kind of like fine, right? So we're gonna go ahead and use this, and I'm gonna put this over the top just to make it a little bit redundant. You know, to make sure we don't get nothing. Then you just pour. Now it's about the garnish, right? So you guys can garnish any kind of way. You can garnish it with a peach on the top. You can put an umbrella on it, however you want to do it. But this right here, this is what we call a Southern Belle cocktail. This right here is fire. I done already took a sip, you know what I mean? I'll go ahead and give you the description, but I want to talk about how I put these peaches right here. The reason I did that, because you guys can take them, you can just go ahead and stab them like this. You know what I mean? You can put these across, put it on top, or you can take a peach, because we did use the peach bitters, right? You can just take the peach, let it drop down to the bottom of it, let it soak up everything, and then when you get down to the bottom, you can go ahead and get yourself a nice little feel-good peach slice. Hey, now with that being said, what I'm gonna tell you is, cheers. Now this is a Southern Belle cocktail. It's the perfect blend of sweet and tart. It has a touch of herbal freshness, from the thyme. It's a great way to elevate your cocktail game and impress your guests at any type of function. And I'm gonna tell you this too, it pairs excellent with seafood. So if you got shrimp, lobster, or any type of seafood, this right here is the drink you wanna have. Now, what I can tell you is, after tasting it, as soon as you put it up to your nose, I want you guys to get a visual, right? So as soon as you get it like this, that fresh thyme over the top, that aromatic that comes off of that, don't forget we put it in the inside, you know what I mean? We hit it with the muddler just to get that fresh, herbally, taste and aromatic off of it. And then not to mention if we drop some peaches in there too, this right here is fire. Now, we finna move on to our next drink. This is gonna be a mocktail, folks. This is just a blackberry lemonade with a little bit of a twist. Okay, so now we get down to the good part, right? This is the mocktail. Springtime is coming. Right after that is the summertime, right? This is a perfect drink you could take to any like picnic, having to get together. This is it right here. And I told you I got a twist. So hold up to the end of this and I'll tell you what you can do to make this a grown-ups drink. Now, with that being said, first thing we're gonna do is we wanna put our berries in, right? You just need 1 cup. So I'll add these. Now what we wanna do is we wanna puree these, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and just get this started. I think I'm gonna go ahead and use my post just to get it going. And that's about all you need just to get a paste, right? You remember blackberries, they're super delicate and fragile, and that there already has a nice looking paste, right? So this is where it gets fun. So we'll just go ahead and add our honey. And really what we're doing is just adding everything else that we have, all of our ingredients, right? Okay, next we'll put in our lemon juice and then our water. Okay, so once you get the rest of your ingredients in, we're gonna go ahead and just put this in here. And then look, you wanna be careful. Don't turn this on high because we're not trying to like put no air inside of it because it can become frothy, right? So I got it on a low setting. We just want to mix it up a little bit. And it wasn't really enough. When you do, when you blend up and make your blackberries a paste, you don't really have enough to take it out, right? So we just go ahead and hit it just a couple of times. You know what I mean? Look, we just want to mix it. This right here, that's all we want to do. Now, this part is key. What you want to do is you want to go inside of here and you want to taste a little bit of it, right? Listen, if it's not sweet enough for you, you can make your adjustments here, right? But before I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and start adding some ice. Right, I'm using the mason jars, you know what I mean? Because it's a nice presentation. You know what I mean? It's spring, summer time coming. You know what I mean? This is what you want to just put out. Everybody can have it. Make the kids feel like they're doing something, you know what I mean? And then I'm gonna tell you how to level this up in just 1 second. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and take it and we just go ahead and pour that in there just like you see. Now I'm gonna show you how I level it up and just make this a cocktail, right? We got the mocktail on the left and this one right here. Add ourselves an ounce of this interstate. Now we go ahead and pour this, right here over the top. I stop about halfway, right? You know why? Because I want to give it a little swirl. And then we come here and we just come right back over the top. And just like that, we got a cocktail. Cheers, folks. Okay, folks, look, there you have it. Got a mocktail here, and then you leveled it up with that interstate vodka. And what we did was we made a cocktail. Super easy. Now, step 4. Always use fresh ingredients, especially when it comes to citrus. Don't be afraid to experiment and try new things. And don't forget to garnish your drinks. It's the little touches that make a big difference. And always remember to drink responsibly and never drive under the influence. Okay, so there you have it, folks. Super easy. And I want you guys to let me know down in the comment section below if you like this type of content, because check this out. Don't forget, every Thursday at 1 o'clock, it's Bottoms Up with AB. And with that being said, you know how I leave all of my videos. If you don't, let me show you. I'm out. Peace.